All right, welcome to another episode of Keepers of the Gloom. I'm Kyle Tucker, 35 Chop. My guest today is
Andrew Drivers, 36 Gringo.
Gringo. Gringo is filling in today for his brother, Griddy. Rhymes with Diddy. He HC'd and didn't show. So, moment of silence for those who HC'd and didn't show. All right, so quick hits. Where were you born?
I was born in Wichita, Kansas, down in the Riverside area. Grew up down there. Parents still live down there. I went to Wichita North, and that's where I graduated. So,
Cool. So you were born in a van down by the river?
pretty much. What
do you do for work?
I have my own company. It's a lawn care company called A Cut Above Lawn Care and Landscaping. So I do that pretty much full time, and I do some property management, have some rental property, but other than that, I'm manual labor pretty much all day long.
I feel like I need to give you like a platform. Tell people where they can follow you and find you at, like at Facebook, at Twitter _
Yeah, Cut Above Lawn Care on Facebook, Instagram. We're there.
I mean, it's kind of segued, didn't it?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like podcasts say you should do this. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your home AO?
Fortress. Yeah.
Fortress. Okay.
Fortress.
Home region?
Wichita.
All right, we're about to go to coffee.
Yep.
Tell people what your favorite cafeteria drink is.
I usually get the black hazelnut, no cream.
Black hazelnut, no cream. Okay. Any sugar?
Nope.
No
nothing,
added sweeteners.
Straight black.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I'll move on quickly before you pull a squishy, baby. What's your go-to exercise when you cue a workout?
I think my favorite type of workouts are probably ab workouts. I think one of my favorite ones is I like American Hammers.
American Hammers?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the one that when somebody calls it out, you're like, ugh, can't stand this?
I mean, burpees. I can't stand burpees. I don't know.
That's true. All right, let's switch gears, talk about your journey a little bit. How did you hear about F3?
So, my brother, Griddy, he had kind of mentioned coming to Trinity to work out with some guys, and I kind of, I didn't know much about what it was. I thought maybe it was just Trinity focused, like people that had gone to Trinity. So I never really pushed to see like, hey, can I come check it out? I just kind of wait until the offer came, and then I was kind of searching for something. I wasn't working. I was used to play basketball at the Y, and tornado hit, so I stopped doing that. So the 2 years went by. I wasn't really working out. I wasn't really happy with my workout, not doing anything. And so finally he mentioned, hey, you should come check it out. And that was in like November, October of last year. And man, it's been, I was kind of coming only 2-3 days a week.
Yeah.
Starting out, but now since January, I feel like, I've been trying to get here at least 5-6 days a week. So,
yeah, buddy.
But yeah, it's been great.
And you are like 48 hours away now.
48 hours.
48 hours away from GrowRuck.
Very nervous.
In KC.
Very
doing
nervous.
Big things now.
Yeah.
Big things.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you think about, you heard him describe it, what did you think about F3 before you actually came to your first beatdown?
Well, I didn't really know much about it at all. Like, he kind of just said, hey, just show up, 5:30, and we work out outside. And so I was like, sounds good to me. But once I got here, I mean, holy cow, it was a little overwhelming at first with all the jargon and, stuff, all the names. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on. How the cadence before you do a workout and all that. So it was kind of a little overwhelming, but I think once you get past all of that and kind of be a little more vulnerable, it wasn't bad. It's just, it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of eye-opening when I first got here, but hey, it's good.
What was the most surprising thing about it all?
I think just the biggest thing that stuck with me is how guys are so vulnerable with each other when we get in a circle of trust. Like, you hear different people's backgrounds, and you see guys out on the street, and you never know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You come here, and then you hear these stories, and you're just like, God, like, we really are blessed all in different ways, and people are going through struggles far worse than we may be going through, and it's so nice to be there for those guys. And it makes you really tight with the guys that are here, because you're like, man, I feel for this guy. He's going through this. I'm here to
Yeah.
pick him up. And so I think that's the biggest thing. That's just like, man, I want to show up for these guys.
Yeah.
So
that's a good word. Good word. Do you remember what your first beatdown was?
Man, I do not remember the first. I remember a couple that really stuck with me. Was one that Shirtless did and one that Pringles did over here in the parking lot when we had to listen to
Sally.
Sally. And I was like, I was so mad so many times because I was just like, this song is going to be ingrained in my head forever.
Yeah,
it still is. But yeah, that was one of the most memorable ones. It's just over there on that asphalt.
Okay, but you don't remember your first one.
I don't remember my first one.
That's fine. None of us do. How long have you been a part of F3?
Let's see. So I think I started coming in October, mid-October. So was that like 8 months, 7 months?
Yeah, something like that. That sounds like it. So how did you talked about you would just do basketball before F3? What was your fitness routine like before F3?
Yeah, that was literally it. I mean, sometimes I'd work out at the gym before basketball or something, but I did that for several years.
Pick up a dumbbell
and
then.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go upstairs, but that's the thing is when I go to the gym, I feel lost. Like I just, I walk around, I don't know, I'll go over and do this for a little bit. There's no routine. And so that's where, for me personally, I need guys here to help me. Okay, I'll do this with them. And then that's when my competitive comes in, is like, okay, I want to beat that guy to the 50-yard line. I want to,
You're competitive?
So a little bit.
Play Ultimate with them, find out real quick.
Yeah. So that's where, working out by myself at the gym is not, I mean, I'm sure I could, but it's just not, I just don't enjoy it as much. So, that's why playing basketball and doing all that, was good. But this is the best thing that I've ever done workout wise. So it's been awesome.
So how would you describe your F3 journey so far?
Amazing. I mean, it's changed me personally. I think my kids see a change in me. I come home from the workout and coffee, just completely different attitude. I mean, just happy, ready to start the day. My kids see that, my wife sees that, and not to mention, I feel 10 times healthier than I was, 8 months ago. I mean, I physically see changes, so that's awesome.
That's why we do these right there. That's awesome. How did you get your F3 name?
Because of the lawn care company. They said, does any of my guys call me Gringo? So that's
well,
how I
we
got
do.
It.
Yeah. So, all right, I got a new question.
Okay.
You're going to be the first one to answer this one.
All right.
That we put into the box. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to believe in something bigger than yourself?
It's very important, because I think if you don't believe in something bigger than yourself, you tend to be a little selfish, and I think it's just important. I mean, whether you're a Christian or any other denomination, I think it's important just to believe in something higher power, and I sure do as a Christian. So
okay. All right, we'll do some highlights. What's been your favorite F3 moment so far?
I mean, I think being able to be competitive with the guys is probably one of my favorite, whether it's ultimate frisbee or just doing a beat down and not trying to let somebody beat me.
Yeah.
But that I live to be competitive in everything that I do. So
yeah.
Back in college, whether everything is a competition for me. So I think having guys that are literally here that can easily beat me in so many different categories, it's a good push, because I'm like, man, I want to be more like that guy. Seeing Office 2, I mean, when he brought those sleds out here and just being like, dude, this is difficult. This is very hard. And he's pulling them like he's been doing it for a long time. And so it just makes you eager to just be like, man, I got to work harder. I got to work harder. And so that's what I love. I love that push.
Yeah. Well, he has. So
yeah.
In his defense. You talked about some of the health benefits, you're in a more active lifestyle, all the rest of this. What kind of health benefits have you seen since joining F3?
I mean, I've gotten in way better shape, like physically. I was starting to, my genetics is I'm gonna have a belly. So you look at my dad and all my uncles and everything, and that's always on my mind. I just don't want to ever be like that. And so after 2 years of not, I felt like I was starting to just feel
the dad bod.
Yeah, feel that dad bod. And my wife was working out in the mornings, and she was getting up at like 5:36 working out. I was sleeping in till 7:15, just slowly getting up. I mean, she'd walk in, I'd still be laying there. I'm just like, oh, I feel like, such a piece of crap. Like, but I just was so tired because I wasn't doing anything. I mean, the job's demanding, but you get kind of used to that. And so you got to do those extracurricular activities. And so now I'm just like, I may be tired, but I'm up, and I'm just shooting out by 7 o'clock. I'm like, I feel like I've been up for 5 hours,
Got a cup or two of coffee in you by the 7, man.
But
maybe not today, but
it's huge.
What about how's F3 helped you out mentally? Mental health.
Yeah, great. I think having guys surrounded by me and being able to talk to, and I've expressed things going on in my life and problems I've had, and I think being able to get that out of your head, and then they just like, hey man, I'm right there too. I've struggled with that. I've been there. Just keep pushing through. You'll get through it. I think that is massive. I mean, seeing what he went through when he was kind of doing property management and all the struggles, and I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one going through these same things. And so I think I was not in a great mental space when I was just, not working out.
Yeah.
The job, I just started my own company at that point. That was stressful, and so there was a lot of things, and man, this came at the perfect time. It really did. Yeah. It really did.
Good. So what's been your most memorable beatdown to date?
Most memorable, man, that's a tough one.
All the fun ones we've done.
Yeah, I mean, probably the most memorable, I'd say it was probably the one that it was so cold out and we were using the coupons. I think I'll always remember that one because those coupons were so ice cold, and nothing could help. And we were just holding those, and man, all those cold days, it was a struggle coming here, but I mean, we were still having 10 to 15 guys show up. So there was no excuses. I mean, I think I'll always remember those. And then having the motivation of the chili day, I was like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to be left out of that.
Yeah.
So those were good ones.
Okay. What beatdown have you queued that you're most proud of?
Well, that's one category I need to step it up in. I've queued several rucks. I think I queued a beatdown at Sparta, but I mean, the one at Sparta, that's probably the toughest one because I think CBD was pushing me to just do it, and I was not really quite prepared, and I did it in an AO that I think it was like my first or second time going to that, so I didn't know anybody really. So I think that was probably the most memorable one, just because it was kind of my first one.
Okay.
But that's one area that I got to really step up and do better at.
Okay. What about other guys? Whose queue is a guaranteed push?
Oh man, I mean, yours, Pringles, Shirtless, Plungers. Plungers had some good ones.
Yeah.
Office 2s was a good one. And there's a bunch of guys that when you see them queuing, you're like, it's gonna be a battle.
Yeah.
So, which is good.
So what keeps you at this point coming back to F3?
Man, everything. The fitness aspect, the coffee. I mean, I love sitting there talking to guys and learning more about everybody's, life. And I mean, just seeing the physical aspects of me changing and getting stronger. I mean, even the rifle carries today. The last time we did those, I was almost having to run to get to the goal line. And I felt like now I can just sit there and take a good walk. And so it's just those little things. I'm like, man, it's working. Like I'm getting stronger. and it's paying off. And
Mm.
doing the 50K, I would have never done a 50K with weight ever, and showing up with 15, however many guys were there, and being able to do that, so rewarding.
Yeah.
So I mean, just the whole thing is important to me. I'm gonna keep it going for as long as I can.
Yeah.
So
Keeping it on some other guys, when I say high impact man or him, the phrase we use every now and then in the Wichita region, who comes to mind and why?
I think the guy that I've been connecting with a lot lately, I feel like is not a cop. I think just seeing what he's been through and kind of what we had on the 50K. We didn't really walk much on that 50K, but I mean, just when I went out and picked him up, I think it was super important for him. Seeing me out there, I was barefoot, pain. I mean, it was bad, but
It was bad.
It meant a lot to him. To me, it was just what we do. Like we pick up the 6. So to me, that was like a requirement. We go out there and you find him and pick him up. But to him, I mean, he was in tears. It was a good feeling knowing that I was there for him. So I think just and some other things that's been going on in his life, I think it's just for him to just talk about it, and we can just talk about it. I think it's really cool experience. So
yeah. All right, close us out with this one. In a few sentences, why is F3 so special to you?
The relationships that I've made with all these guys out here, I feel like I got a huge group of friends and brothers that is super important to me now, that I'll never forget. Being able to work out early and do this is a blessing. Like it really is. Like it's so important to me. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade this for anything. This is the best. So if you're not out here, get out here.
A plug to the guys that are here and the guys that aren't. All right, this has been another episode of Keepers of the Gloom. To learn more, visit f3wichita.com.